This is Everywhere I Go. I'm Jami Lunde, and this show is my dream. I'm a single, wanderlusting vagabond of a girl, living with my two dogs, Phoenix and Jessie, in a small, pink 1959 vintage travel trailer in the Redstone, Colorado Canyon country. I'm a musician, writer, painter, photographer, gardener, baker, crafter, rafter, kayaker, mountain climber, camper, backpacker, skier, and hot springer. I've spent a lifetime trying to find a man who wanted to live my dreams with me. I failed miserably, winding up depressed, disappointed, and heartbroken. So now I'm taking the bull by the horns, and I'm going to live as many of my dreams as I can in the life that's always been waiting for me. So follow me everywhere I go. Hi, welcome to episode 2 of Everywhere I Go. In this episode, Phoenix, Jessie, and I are heading out on a 4-day camping and kayaking adventure down in lovely Buena Vista, Colorado. It's dawn, early June, and I've packed the car to the gills. Phoenix and Jess are in their spot in the back, and we take off. Driving down Kenosha Pass, the sky is creamy blue, the mountains are snow-capped, and wild yellow peas are in bloom. After a few hours, we arrive in BV. I decide to camp in one of my favorite off-the-beaten-path spots up above BV, where we have views of the Collegiate Range and Mount Princeton shooting up to 14,197 feet right outside our front door. Phoenix and Jess check the place out while I get our camp set up. With car camping, I can bring all the comforts of home, so I do. My new North Face tent is a little smaller than I'm used to, but it fits my tall twin air mattress no problem. This tent is a hardcore 3-season tent made to withstand strong winds and raging storms. Phoenix and Jess stay cool in the shade, and I make us a snack plate of peaches, cucumbers, ham, and salami. With some food in our bellies, we set out to explore a bit around camp. Flowers are blooming, it's still and peaceful. The only sound are footsteps and birds singing. I make an early dinner of barbecue chicken with mango salsa, marinated grilled vegetables, and sliced cucumbers. The dogs get their own special dog dinner with chicken broth, and we eat, enjoying the solitude and stunning views. It's been a long day though, and my cozy bed is calling. Phoenix isn't quite sure about the tent, but he finally comes in and lays down right next to me. The bed is amazing and totally worth it. I sleep all through the night. Right before the dawn, the dogs are out and Phoenix is staring at me, waiting for me to get up and take them for a walk. We walk down the road as the sun is coming up and shines golden across the valley onto the high peaks. When we get back to camp, I get some water going to make French press coffee and start on a breakfast of scrambled eggs, fresh mango salsa, and turkey sausage. Coffee's ready, and I pour myself a cup, sit down to eat, and enjoy the morning. So today is the day that we are going to drive up to Cottonwood Lake and see what the deal is and see if we can get the boat in the water. I'm going to have to pump it up with a foot pump, and maybe I'll take it out for a little bit first and see if the dogs want to go. But we had a great night camping. There were some guys shooting some guns, which scared Phoenix to death, but just let him curl up next to her in one of the corners of the tent. They have no idea what we're gonna do today, so I'm really excited. Coming into downtown BV, and left the camp
but I've got my trusty stun gun, which makes me feel a little bit better camping out by myself with a bunch of rednecks who like to use their four-wheelers and get drunk and shoot guns. So I realized also that not a good idea to just leave one camp chair at camp, because you know, if somebody comes by, they'll see that there's only one camp chair and they'll be like, this person's alone, they're not here, you know, or come by later, or if they see me out walking the dogs, or I don't know. I just try to stay incognito camping by myself. But the dogs are a deterrent. I don't think anybody really realizes how friendly Malamutes are. I'm not sure if Phoenix would actually attack anybody. He's more of a scaredy cat than anything. But anyway, we're gonna go try to fill up some water and take our recycling and trash into town and head up to Cottonwood Lake.
So here we are, after quite a few attempts and a good old bite on the hand from Phoenix. We are finally kayaking out here on Cottonwood Lake. Jess is in the back, Phoenix is laying down in front. He feels extra sad and guilty for giving me one of the best bites yet, although he hasn't really bitten me. He has shown me his mean teeth before. So, but then after that, he calmed down and he got in the boat and he laid down, which is great. And now he's just being super calm, kind of has his head between my legs and being just a good dog. We're just kind of floating around out here looking at this beautiful snowy mountains. Everybody stood around and watched us get into the river, or I mean the lake. Not quite sure if we were gonna make it, but we did. I'm super proud. And it's just like being out on a surfboard, like for the first time. Sometimes it's just enough to just get out there, hop on it, dangle your legs, and just get the feel of the buoyancy of it. Get the feel of just paddling around a little bit, you know? Sometimes that's all it is just getting the feel of the boat in the water with the dogs and with me, and pumping it up with the foot pump, and that didn't take very long at all. Just getting everything ready, getting the boat rigged, getting everything tied down. And I'm really proud of myself, you know? I don't need a guy to be out here with me. I can just be out here by myself, living my dreams. So it was a total success. Phoenix and Jesse both did so good. They both fell asleep and both were snoring while I was out paddling around. We got the boat all dried off and put back away. The car's loaded. We will sort it all out when we get back to camp. It started raining just a little bit, enough to kind of cool things off, and I'm so glad I have my retro cardigan to kind of warm me up again. And now we're gonna go see if we can find a little bit of gear that we need to make this a little bit more enjoyable. I think I'm gonna get Phoenix a new PFD, something a little bit more hardcore that's stronger for him because he's 100 pounds.
and a bigger dry box for my iPhone. Even though my iPhone has a waterproof case on it, it kind of steams up in the little cheap dry bag I have for it. So I think we're gonna go to CKS in downtown BV and go stock up on some stuff. See if they have any recommendations on any other lakes around this area that we can go try out in our next couple days that we have off. All right, here we go. Had a great day. Look at this amazing sunset behind me that I'm looking at right now. It is seriously fire in the sky. It's been an absolutely magnificent 360-degree sunset, alpenglow, huge puffy clouds. So great. I'm so enjoying my time here. This is one of my favorite camping spots. It's Tuesday morning. We've already got camp all secure for the day. We had a great breakfast, more eggs and turkey bacon. Dogs had their special breakfast with chicken stock. Dogs have been walked. We've gotten ready to go. The car's all loaded down. We've got plenty of food and water, and we're heading back up to Cottonwood Lake for day 2 of kayaking with dogs. Yesterday, while it was raining a little bit, we went and checked out another lake in the area called Lake O'Haver, which is a little bit south or east, I'm not sure, southeast, east, south of Salida and Poncha Springs. Not really our style. Little too RV resorty, little too, looks like people kind of live there, old folks. Looks like a lot of RVs, and it was a pretty small lake, not that spectacular, I mean, not for me. So instead of packing up and heading north to go to the Twin Lakes up towards Leadville, we wanted to stay another day because we love midweek days just to go out and have adventures when there aren't as many people around. Although on Sunday when we went, there really weren't that many people there either, so that was great. But I'm sure there won't be near as many people there today on a Tuesday. So the dogs are in store for another day of sleeping on the kayak, hopefully, and it's my goal to kind of make it to some other parts of the lake that I was a little too not wanting to get that far away from our exit and the boat ramp and stuff. So hopefully all goes well. It's my goal that Phoenix does not show me his mean teeth today and perhaps doesn't bite me. I know he doesn't mean to. I know it's because he's scared. However, I'd prefer not to get bit again because it's scary. This 103-pound dog coming at you with big polar bear teeth is a little too much sometimes, especially when there's a crowd of people watching you and they get really freaked out by that. Because most of the time he's just a big snuggly teddy bear. Like this morning, I let him out around 5. Jess doesn't even sleep in the tent. She just wants to go outside and sleep in the dirt. She's a big dust mop. And Phoenix sleeps in the tent, but he wants to go out around 5 every morning. He wakes up. And then when he starts howling for me to get up, I open the tent and he comes in and he snuggles me, which I told him that was the reason why I was adopting him, is I had somebody to hug and to snuggle sometimes, you know? I just need a hug in the morning. And to just feel somebody there for me to just snuggle me. So he does that for about 5 minutes and then starts howling for his morning walk, which he is all of a sudden very accustomed to after living in a shelter for 2 years. Now all of a sudden he's running the show. He wants to go for walks and he howls, and I swear his howl says walk. It's like woo woo, and then I start doing it and he starts doing it, and he gets very excited and he won't let me. He's on his long leash, and so when we go for a walk I put him on his red leash, which is his short leash, and he just runs around doing these hot laps, like trying to get me to catch him, which he thinks is really funny and is a game to him. I, on the other hand, do not think it's that funny. I just want him to come here, especially because I haven't had coffee yet, I haven't done anything, I haven't brushed my teeth, and I'm like, all right, dog, let's go for a walk. So it's really funny, to me anyway. So we're heading up Cottonwood Pass Road. It's just absolutely gorgeous out. I take another 1,000 videos, but I'm sure they would just take up space on my iPhone. And we're just gonna go have a great day. I brought my watercolors with me and my camp chair and the dog's water, so we can just have a day out there, just kind of going out to the lake. They say half the fun is in the trying, and we sure did try today. But it is so windy out here. It is so super windy. Everybody's cold. Everybody that tried to come out and take their little boats out did not do as well as we did. We made it across the lake and back, where I realized that I forgot to take my little fin protectors. They're like these little blow-up floaty arms for like kids, but they're for your fins. And I realized that I hadn't taken them off yet, so we were already out in the middle of the water, and I was pretty much like, what's the problem here? Why is the boat not wanting to go straight? Why isn't it going how I want it to, like it did the other day? I'm like, crap, I didn't take those off, and I'm like, there's no way they can still be on right now as I'm going across this lake. I'm like, I'm sure by the time like I drug it out, you know, from the boat ramp, that they're probably back there on shore or whatever. So I paddle us all the way across the windy lake to the other side of the shore, where there's like a little itty bitty inlet, and I realized, yes, both of my fin protectors are still on the boat, which is surprising, and I am grateful for that because I'm sure those are important. So then we turn around, everything's great. Phoenix does great getting in the boat. Of course he needs some treats, but no problem, not scared, no mean teeth, no biting, totally great. You know, now today he wanted to sit up in the boat. That was his thing. He's like, I am a big dog now and I want to sit up and take a look around, which is not helpful. You know, the best thing for him to do is just to lay down. So I'm paddling back, realizing that something's wrong. I don't know if like the fin is bent. I read somewhere like in the instructions that if a fin gets bent, that you can reshape it with like a hair dryer, kind of get the plastic hot and kind of reshape it. I'm like, that must be the case because the boat is only going in one direction. So I'm having to do 2 paddles on one side and then back paddle on the other. I don't know. In the wind, and then I'm like, okay, well this is interesting, you know, something's wrong. So as we're paddling back across the lake, Phoenix seriously falls out of the boat. And I don't know if it was because he was sitting up, if he decided like, I'm just gonna jump out, or if he was like, whoa, this is tippy. He was out of the boat, and I just look at him, I'm like, all right, this is you, what are you gonna do? And it turned out we were in a pretty shallow part of the lake, over kind of by the swampy willow section. I mean, he had to swim for quite a bit, but I got us over to a more shallow section and got out of the boat and got him a treat, because I think he was looking at shore like he might just go to shore. And also, he also plays the game of you can't catch me. Once he kind of got to about chest deep water where he can feel the bottom, he was like, okay, I'm cool. And then I had to get a treat out and try to convince him to come over towards me, which for a while he had no interest in. I knew though that he was getting cold, the water was pretty cold, and so he finally came over to me in the boat, and even still standing in knee-deep water, even with his new PFD with a big sturdy handle on it, it was really hard for me to get him in the boat. Not because he didn't want to, but because of his size and the water and how heavy he is. He really has to want to get in the boat, so he jumps in. So finally, after some coaxing and more treats, and I think just realizing that he was gonna have to figure out how to get back in the boat, he finally got back in the boat. We pushed off, and we were about halfway across the lake, and we made it back to our boat ramp, which was awesome. Pretty cold. Phoenix was shivering. I was pretty cold. I have in my dry bag my retro cardigan, which is always my first thing that I put on anywhere when I get back to shore, because I'm always cold, and I wear my neoprene booties to keep my feet warm because the water comes in the boat, and with dogs and everything, it's just a nightmare. So then we kind of just got our wits about us, dried off, laid out in the sun, but the wind, it just kept blowing, and it just kept getting colder. And so I said, whatever, we'll just sit here until the wind dies down. So we sat there for another 4 hours. I did some painting. The wind's just not dying down, and it really doesn't make it that much fun to go out and paddle. I don't mind it. I mean, I get it. It puts hair on your chest, and it builds character and all this stuff. Well, I've done that. I've skied in whiteouts, ridden my bike in head-on winds. I can do it. I just choose not to. So we're heading back down. I'm not sure what the rest of the afternoon has in store for us, but it was great. Phoenix wasn't afraid of getting in the boat, and he took his first swim, which is kind of like me in rafting. I took a really huge swim my first time rafting. Very scary, in a very big, huge rapid on the upper Colorado. I thought I was going to die for sure. I was trapped under the boat with this strap wrapped around my arm going through these humongous rocks. It was there's no way I'm going to be able to get out of this. There's no way I'm going to be able to pull myself out of these rapids and onto the boat. I just don't have that kind of strength. But somehow my guy put the oars behind his legs and grabbed onto my life jacket and just fell backwards into the boat, and I, like a dead fish, just flopped in the boat, which was great. And then it's that's part of it. That's part of rafting, is swimming. Better figure out how to swim if you're going to be a boater. So Phoenix took his first swim, and now he's officially christened as a boater. Just like me, just like Jess. And here's the other thing that I forgot to mention. When I got back to shore, I realized, I looked at the fins, I'm like, they don't seem like they're all that bent. That's weird. What am I doing wrong? Why was it, the boat not paddling straight? Why, I'm strong. There should be no reason why I can't paddle the boat straight like I did the other day. Then I'm kind of looking around, I turn it upside down, I look at the fins, and I turn it back right side up. And all of a sudden I see Jesse's little spot in the back, and I see Phoenix's spot in the front, and I look, and I've loaded the boat backwards. The fins are in the front of the boat. That's right, I was paddling the boat backwards with the fins in front, like an idiot. So, I learned that lesson the hard way, paddling across the lake. No wonder why it was so difficult in a really windy day. So, yeah, learning lessons all the time. It's about 4:45 and we are leaving camp after a great 4 days here alone, which is no different than any other day of the week or any other month or the last couple years for that matter. Just check my email. I don't get any emails. I don't get any texts. Nobody's trying to get in touch with me. It's just me and my dogs. Not gonna lie, I'm a little heavy-hearted, a little sad leaving. Not because I'm leaving, but because of the dreams that my guy and I shared here about moving down here, starting a life, finding some land, putting my vintage trailers on it, building a house, and being able to raft all the time. And just knowing that those dreams are gone is still a very hard thing for me to wrap my head around and make sense out of and not feel absolutely hurt by the way things ended. You know, when you're in love with somebody, you just love them. And when they throw you away like you're a piece of trash, it really hurts, even this much time later. So I'm leaving the place that I love the most and had so many dreams. And yeah, I can say that these are still my dreams and I can make them happen and, you know, I can do anything. But the reality of it is like, I made those dreams with somebody else. And those were our dreams. And it's hard to be in Colorado and try to figure out where I can go and what I can do when we've been to every town and stayed at every campground and skied every mountain and rafted every river. It's hard. I'm not exactly sure